What's up? What's up? This is Jules Jessie with the Clapback Culture, and I am here with my boy, Mike Davis with the South Seattle Emerald. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Julia? How you doing?
I'm sad to not be with you in studio this week.
Man, we miss you up here.
I know. I see you. You're in the studio. I'm a little bitter about that, but it's all good. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm actually a little bit excited. I feel like we have a really positive show tonight. We usually
We
come in
do.
here, we
We
clap
do.
back, but yo, we got some excitement tonight.
So let's tell everybody what's going on tonight, what we're going to talk about. Of course, we're going to break down the inauguration. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Got to send a congratulations to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We're going to talk about the highlights of the inauguration and break that down. Got to talk about the fashion that is popping at the inauguration. I know a lot of people don't really know what's going on about that, but I want to bring that up. Bernie, got to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about a couple things in regards to order of business. I mean, Joe Biden got straight to work with them executive orders. So let's make sure we break that down. I got a couple things I want to
Yes.
say about that. So let's just get right into it. I mean, what's up? Joe Biden is president, finally. Did you think this day was going to come?
I knew the day would come. I just didn't know how the day would go over. I'm glad that it was peaceful. I'm glad that it was quiet. I'm glad that, Trump hopped on that helicopter, bounced to not be seen again. That's major. And people were worried, and we were rightful to be worried. So I'm just glad that the transition was peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, it was peaceful. I really loved seeing all the former presidents there. I actually was glad to see that Donald Trump was not there because I felt like no one really needed to fake that he was not going to be there. But, to see them, being sworn in, it was just a beautiful thing. Like, can we show that picture? Can we show our president? I mean, look at Kamala. I mean, I really feel like Joe Biden, he's waited so long to become president. I think this is his third run in the 40 years that he's been a politician. So that's crazy. But, Kamala, she's like really been the first in a lot of her positions. So it was some black girl magic, and I was, very emotional. What kind of sense did you get, Mike? What kind of emotions did you have?
The same. I
Yeah.
watched it, of course, with my daughter. And you mentioned Black Girl Magic. There was so much Black Girl Magic at the inauguration. Shout out to Vice President Harris, that purple. She was out there killing them. I know that we're going to jump into some more of this as the show goes on, so I won't jump ahead. But it was nice to watch it with my daughter and just to see that much representation hit the stage. We had a lot of firsts. So
For
yeah,
sure. My niece, she is Black and Southeast Asian. So she's actually, her mom is Indian, from her family is from Nepal. So Fiji, excuse me, she's Fiji Indian. So this is I'm looking at Kamala and I'm like, dang, this is my Amrita. This is my baby. So it was a magic moment. I know social media was just like so crazy. Some of the takeaways, I saw a lot of girls wearing their pearls, and a couple people had asked me, like, Jules, what's the significance of the pearls? And there's a couple significance as to why a lot of women, particularly Black women, wear pearls. One of which for Kamala is that she is a sister in Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I believe she pledged here in DC at Howard University, and so a lot of my girlfriends who are AKAs were like, super excited to see their soror up there. So that is the significance. They wear the 20 pearls. So that's the significant in the pearls. And I know a lot of people were talking about like cultural appropriation and things like that, but it don't matter. People had their pearls and their chucks on, and it really was just a monumental moment. But also proud to see Joe Biden, super presidential, very presidential, super, just calling for peace. It felt good. I mean, it felt like the beginning of the year, like first day of school, like everything just felt better. I felt like I woke up on the bright side of bed, but
I think that's how we all felt. But I definitely like shout out to Vice President Harris. She puts on for Howard whenever
all
she
the time.
can. So I don't think it's a cultural appropriation thing. I really just think that she's proud of her alma mater, so she puts on. And yeah, everything else that you said, I mean, you're right on the money. I think America really, really needed to have that sigh of relief. And after the events that took place at the Capitol, I think a lot of us are really, really thankful that we got to have a good day with good vibes. And the vibes are really just, it was good. Like it
didn't even look like the same place. I mean, you think about, 2 weeks before we had the attack on the Capitol, and then shortly thereafter, this beautiful inaugural ceremony. I absolutely loved it. I love the ceremonial, touch on everything. Beautiful moment. We do have a short clip of Joe Biden's inauguration speech. I want to review that with our audience and come back and talk about it.
Today, on this January day, my whole soul is in this, bringing America together, uniting our people, uniting our nation. And I ask every American to join me in this cause. Uniting to fight the foes we face: anger, resentment and hatred, extremism, lawlessness, violence, disease, joblessness, and hopelessness. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work and rebuild the middle class and make healthcare secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again the leading force for good in the world. I know speaking of unity can sound to some like a foolish fantasy these days. I know the forces that divide us are deep and they are real. But I also know they are not new. Our history has been a constant struggle between the American ideal that we're all created equal and the harsh, ugly reality that racism, nativism, fear, demonization have long torn us apart. The battle is perennial, and victory is never assured. Through Civil War, the Great Depression, World War, 9/11, through struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks, our better angels have always prevailed. In each of these moments, enough of us have come together to carry all of us forward. And we can do that now. History, faith, and reason show the way of unity. We can see each other not as adversaries, but as neighbors. We can treat each other with dignity and respect. We can join forces, stop the shouting, and lower the temperature. For without unity, there is no peace, only bitterness and fury. No progress, only exhausting outrage. No nation, only a state of chaos. This is our historic moment of crisis and challenge, and unity is the path forward. And we must meet this moment as the United States of America. If we do that, I guarantee you we will not fail. We have never, ever, ever, ever failed in America when we've acted together. And so today, at this time, in this place, let's start afresh, all of us. Let's begin to listen to one another again, hear one another, see one another, show respect to one another. May God bless America, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, America.
God bless America. God bless our troops.
I gotta say, in all honesty, I wrote an article in reaction as soon as his speech was over. And I
Really?
low-key lit him up. But I'm going to say here that I think I should let him off the hook. And the reason why I think I probably shouldn't have went as hard in my article as I did is because he gave us the speech that we needed. After the 4 years that we had with Trump, after all of the events that just unfolded at the Capitol, I think our country really was in a place where we needed him to deliver that specific speech. And I will also say that with those 17 executive orders, this man went right to work like 2 hours after this speech. So, you know, I give credit where credit's due. I think he gave the speech that we needed. I think that he's already started to do the work. So shout out to Joe Biden.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm interested to see what your initial reaction was, your response in the article, but I'll digress for a minute. Shaun King tweeted, he said, friends, racism, poverty, sexism, war, police brutality, mass incarceration, and deep inequity, of course, still exists today and will exist tomorrow. It means we still have work ahead, but give yourself space to celebrate the defeat of Trump, and then let's get to work. I wanted to share what Shaun King said, and if no one follows him on social media, please. He is like Dr. King of the millennials, and a graduate of what HBCU. Yeah, I think. To me, I felt like Joe Biden really took the initiative and the opportunity to really bring unity. And I think he called out a lot of the ugly sins of our nation. I like that he directly made a call and made an affront on the racial institutions that are here. And I think that he knows we as a people, as a nation, are not going to let him off the hook. You know, he is the lesser of the evils, but I think a lot of the chatter that I, really saw on social media, and you guys can tell us this in the comments, how you guys felt about it. But I really felt like, his call was for unity, his call was for peace, but he called out the ugly sins. And I'm looking forward to holding him accountable for the promises that he ran on in the campaign. And I think he knows, he's got a heavy lift ahead of him. I think out of any sitting president, I think he's got the hardest job to do with this administration. So I look forward to him, putting some action behind these words. And I'm going to let him, unroll this plan, this first 100-day plan. I mean, like you said, he didn't take a day off. He went straight to work thereafter. And so kudos to him, because we need a leader right now more than ever. A couple of our followers are saying, okay, well, let's talk about Dora. Hey, Dora, what's up, girl? Thanks for tuning in once again. Any president that takes the helm of the U.S. agrees with its empire mission. I see that he is not a micromanager, so he's leaving his appointees to do some of the decisions. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think that as president, you should be leaving your appointees to make decisions. I think that what we saw with Trump was a lack of that, especially when it came to the scientists and the doctors and how we were trying to handle the coronavirus. Instead of listening to the appointees and the people around him that were smart enough to make the decisions, he just went rogue and did his own thing. So I would definitely say that. And as far as Joe Biden, I mean, look, nobody dislikes Joe Biden more than I do, but you can't argue with what he's done so far. And it's literally been hours, and he's already went to work, reversing orders. He's already adding new things. So like, and I don't want to name them because I know that we're going to talk about this specifically later, but like, man, look, you got to give credit where credit is due. Yeah. Somebody has to have the job. And I'd rather have Joe Biden doing this job than have Trump do this job.
I concur. Amy, you're talking about some of the stuff we're going to get into
Yeah.
in terms of these executive orders. So I think we're all saying the same thing in a different way. You know, it's on day one, he showed up, and you know, I like what I'm hearing on day one. So let's just, you know, let's just wait and see what happens. But to Shaun King's point, you know, I'm happy to celebrate this moment. I'm happy to celebrate having defeated a president that I personally did not like, that, you know, at least 50% or more of Americans did not like, and that did not want to be the representation that is America. So I think we have a new leader, a new front for America, and I'm excited. I feel like, you know, I can breathe again. I can relax a little bit. You know, I don't have to wake up and look at Twitter and see what the hell Donald Trump is talking about. So, you know,
yeah, I agree with all of that. I think in my article where I kind of got a little upset, honestly, was just the idea of unity. And, you know, President Biden leaned so hard on unity and trying to reach across the aisle. And I just feel like in these specific times, those folks across the aisle, they just tried to stop democracy. And I really, really, really want to see accountability over unity. We need to hold those traitors accountable. But I mean, just upon further reflection, I got to rewatch the speech. I think he took the stance in the moment that he had to take. And as far as, you know, the previous administration, I think he fought back against that ideology with legislation. And that's all I've been asking for as long as I can remember. So, I mean, I'm not going to continue to light him up for right now. Y'all know how I get down, though. As soon as he makes that first misstep, I'm going to get right back at him. But for right here, right now, today, I think that he's already taken steps to actually make America better. So I got to give him credit in this moment. This is his moment. He's earned it.
Yeah. So let's give him kudos. Let's just, you know, let's relax. Let's let him do his job. But I do want to break down a little bit more of the inauguration. There were so many powerful Black girl magic moments, one of which I don't know if anybody else felt kind of excited about it, but was Andrea Hall. And she was the young lady who recited the Pledge of Allegiance out loud while simultaneously doing American Sign Language. So we have a short clip. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, and then I'm going to come back and tell you a little bit more about her.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the city of South Fulton, Georgia Fire and Rescue Department, President of the International Association of Firefighters, Local 3920, Fire Captain Andrea M. Hall for the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It was just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Injustice for all. So look, and actually her name is Andrea, excuse me, you guys. I said Andrea. So Andrea Hall, she is, you know, celebrating a lot at first in this administration. The administration honored her to come through and, you know, lead the Pledge of Allegiance. She is the first Black woman that was ever hired to a station at the City of Albany Fire Department. And she was the first Black woman to be promoted to fire captain in Fulton County, a position that she's held for the last 16 years. So I thought it was dope when I saw her. I kind of knew it was like a little moment, and I was like, who is this? So I had to do my Google, had to do my research. So I think it's super dope. I think the lineup at the inauguration period was
on point.
It was ceremonial. It was on point. It was fresh. And I think it was diverse in what we needed. So I had a little moment when I saw her. She's dope. And you can do sign language. First of all, she's super fly, super cute. You saw her little ponytail. Like, I'm coming through as a captain. Like, girl, just
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
you're
man.
loving it. Okay.
Look, give my daughter these moments. Give my daughter these moments. I appreciate it. You know, it can't be understated. The Black girl magic. I am a girl dad. So yes, give me all of these moments and I'm gonna eat them up for sure.
Another moment that we saw was our boy Eugene Goodman. Okay. I did not know that he was going to be the surgeon at arms and guiding Kamala Harris. I didn't know if that had already come out or what, but we do have a short clip to explain who he is, you guys. He is an American hero. So let's play that quick clip and then we'll come back and talk about it.
That's Eugene Goodman, who has been given the honorary designation today of the acting deputy sergeant of arms. And if you're not familiar with his story, then we'll try to do it justice in these few moments we have. He's walking with Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff, and he has that point of honor because he was on duty, Capitol Police officer, on that day, January 6th. And as the mob approached, a camera captured his quick thinking as he led the mob away from what he knew to be an open door right into the Senate chamber. And in doing so, could have perhaps prevented untold harm. And he has been commended for that action. And there's talk of a Congressional Medal of Honor for him. And today he has the honor of escorting Doug Emhoff and soon to be Vice President Kamala Harris.
So many images of that day and so many of them horrifying, but that was certainly one of bravery and quick thinking and all the things that we would hope in a horrible situation like that.
Whew. Bruh got that promotion. He earned that promotion.
Did he?
I seen those videos of him at the Capitol, and I'm gonna be real. Couldn't have been me. White folks stormed that Capitol, I would have been out of there. But bruh held his own. He was a hero.
Yes,
and now he's out there with that Gucci scarf, with that promotion out there doing his thing.
Period. Purr. You know, my stepdaughter, she was like, she taught me purr, my bonus child. I was like, oh, that's a new thing. So y'all, instead of saying period, you say purr. But listen, when I first saw the clip of him leading people out of the Capitol, it almost looks like he is running away. But if, you know, after further review and kind of watching someone else dissect it, he never turned his back. And so when you're running away, you got your back turned. But when you're leading,
right,
you're moving backwards because he's leading them into the place that he wants them. A lot of his friends in articles, you know, who wouldn't go on record because he is such a private person, said that, you know, he's really quick on his feet. And they were saying, you know, if they had ever got into like a gun, you know, a gun battle or something, that would be who they want. And so I think it's such an honor to have him be the lead security for Vice President Harris. You know, some quick facts. He's a Washington, D.C. native from Southeast. Whoop, whoop for all my Ward 8 residents. So he's right from around here. He lives in Maryland. Capitol Police officer. I am pretty sure he's going to get a promotion to something. He needs to be whatever he wants to be at this point for his quick, fast thinking. And, you know, I look forward to seeing if he's going to get that congressional honor, which I'm sure he will. But let's get that quick, fast in a hurry. Okay.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, no. So that just so many great moments from the inauguration. Another one is the youth poet Amanda Gorman, and she delivers a poem at the inauguration. She's so cute. I think she's 22 years old. I think we got a quick clip of that too, in case you missed it. Okay, well, that's a picture, and she's so.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is hours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose.
Come on, Amanda.
Hey.
22 years old.
Yo,
The
hey.
youngest person to deliver a poem at a U.S. presidential inauguration. What's your thoughts, Mike?
Look her up, buy her books of poetry. I mean, look, I'm definitely doing the same. I love when my daughter gets new heroes. I just love it. And she did such a great job though. So like, I just don't even got the words for her. It was amazing. Her poem was amazing. She delivered it. It was so on point. The emotion in it. I mean, man, she did a great job.
Good. She's so good. She said, when days come, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. Ooh, I used to do spoken word. Like, I'm actually pretty good. Like, I could probably like spit something.
Hey, go ahead. What's up?
I'm nervous right now. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna. Oh.
Look, now you got the close up. You got to do it.
Okay, let me try. Let me think of like a little something. Okay. Dang, this is old. Small mistakes bring up birth rates in this U.S. of A. And after school programs and late night gathering groups meant for our youth get knocked out of budget because we ain't worth it. So you cut it. Take away our social space and leave us at a place to call safe. Would it be like all the untraced, unidentified youth found in rivers and drunken alleys, stories of social seduction and verbal rape, mind reading at a third grade level, but about to be 16? What does society not see that? Oh man, I can't remember.
Hey, okay.
I even went to like poetry camp and all of that, and like on Whidbey Island. Shout out to Whidbey Island. We had a lot of programs in Washington State. They need to bring them down to DC, man. I had some programming. Okay, my mama kept me in programs.
Hey, they got late night at DC. I feel like I heard you shout out late night in that.
No, but I did used to go to late night. What late night you used to go to? I went to Rainer.
See,
corny. Hold on, let's ask our fans. Did you guys ever go to late night? I know
it's still here, man. I used to work at the late night program. Man.
I used to work at
the community center.
Get paid to be at late night because my mom worked for Parks. But you're a Parks kid too.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Rainier Beach for all their late nights. That was like you could be like 13 hanging out at midnight. For
real,
they needed more.
They feed you all that. So yeah, we need that.
Watch a movie, dance, hoop. All the boys used to come out and hoop.
Yeah,
we used to write poems. That's what
And you still got it. There you go.
Yeah. Listen, in order to grow up like Amanda Gorman or like Jules, Jessie, or my boy Mike Davis, we need more late nights. We need more programming for kids. This young woman, I look forward to seeing all the things that she's gonna do. I'm so glad to see like women like this get platforms, because if anything is gonna go viral, let's let something like this positivity go viral. So definitely It was just bomb. It was
And
just.
she goes to Harvard. Shout out to her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Big. Yes, she goes to Harvard. So shout out to her. She's doing it big. Yet another role model for our youth. I mean, I love to see it, man. We got this show tonight is so positive. I'm just loving the vibe tonight.
Listen, because the Cheeto man is gone. So speaking of which, you guys, our show really is not like super like button and tie, whatever. But I do want to chop it up about the fashion at the inauguration because, child, it was so much slayage just all over the place. April, am I saying that right? I'm probably not saying that right. You know, I'm getting old, y'all. But listen, let's go into some of this inauguration fashion. Child, we got so much to talk about. I loved everybody's outfits. And why is that a thing? You know, if you think about the former inaugurations, people always talk about what someone is wearing. Maybe because it's just like such a good ceremony, but I feel like people are always looking for the fashion. Don't like, is that a—
I agree. And I think that what really stood out with this particular inauguration was the colors. It wasn't like just, you know, the laid back little, man, you got color.
Okay, so number one, I am totally a fan of monochromatic, and that just means like purple at the top, purple at the bottom. Yes. Another thing to notice, and I don't know if we have this, but if you look at Mrs. Obama, Kamala Harris, and Hillary Clinton, they all wore purple.
Oh, okay. And
I don't think that's a coincidence. I think they did that because red and blue makes purple. Red and blue makes purple. So I think it was like a sign of solidarity. But loved the monochromatic from everybody. So chic. So chic. I mean, J-Lo had on Chanel top to bottom, honey. Listen, that coin. J-Lo, look at you, sis. You are oozing of class and diamonds, okay?
She's ageless.
Push
How
through.
Is she ageless?
Ooh, she's so beautiful.
Look at that.
Kamala. So Kamala is actually, you know what? That's rude. Let me stop calling her Kamala. Vice President Harris, she's wearing a match. She actually has on a dress and she's wearing a overcoat that is by a young Black fashion designer, Christopher John Rogers. And so she actually wore two Black designers. She wore that, and then whatever they did the day before, she wore another Black designer. So shout out to Vice President. Like she's oozing Black girl magic. I think who won is Michelle Obama.
Wasn't she wearing a Black designer too?
Michelle Obama?
Yes.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes. And listen, the internet broke. She broke the internet like Beyonce. Okay.
She did. She earned it though. She earned it. I mean, I'm not trying to hate, but Obama, first gentleman. Y'all gotta step your game up, man. You can't be showing up with your lady looking like, man, come on.
The men need to step their game up. But what do you think of Vice President Harris's nephew who pulled up with them $1,000
Dior ones? Oh,
please,
come on.
Pull up them Dior ones, please.
Have to.
Kamala Harris's nephew, he came through with them Dior ones. I pulled them up online, bro, and resale value is in the thousands. My brother was like, "You ain't see them pics." Like 25,000 at the most was what I saw.
There are a lot of us that noticed his kicks from the smallest clip of him walking down the stairs. I'm watching live and I seen that. I'm like, hold up, that couldn't have been. So then I hop on Twitter and I'm like, oh, it was. Oh yeah.
You know who else I really liked was Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga had a pin, a dove, and it was about carrying an olive branch, like making peace. So little details like that. I think a lot of people wore different things for symbolism, and I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. Ooh, Miss Wendy, you're in the comments talking about Michelle Obama's bundles, honey. Yes, she came through with the bundles.
She did.
Period. Yeah, but thank you, Lady Gaga, for coming through and slaying. We knew you would, and I don't know how you walked through with that skirt, honey. You held on to that for dear life.
real.
Shout out to you. Look, do we have the picture of the Dior kicks? We just gotta show that. Oh, look at that. I'm not dropping 2K on those, bro. Honestly, I'm not.
Man, you know, it's tempting.
Is it?
It's tempting. And man, and shout out to Girl Dad, man. He's out there looking like me at the inauguration. If I showed up to the inauguration, that's how I'm coming. Just like that, with my shorties with me, just like that.
Shout out. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you that. I think that's really attractive, honestly. Girl dads are dope. My brother's a girl dad, and you guys
We're out here
with these girls, man.
We're out here.
I love it. I feel like, okay, so who was best dressed in your eyes?
Come on, you know where I'm going with that. Dior wins. She wins.
Oh my God.
She wins the night.
Okay, that's Guy. Best girl.
I'm going Michelle Obama for the win, hands down. I mean,
really?
When I first saw Michelle Obama, I didn't even notice that there was some dude standing next to her. And then I looked and was like, oh, that's Obama. He's here too. But yo, she killed it. She killed it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with J-Lo. Because honey, the slay was real, honey. And if you saw the other pictures, sis had a hat. She came through with a new hairstyle. Like she just, woo. And I still don't know what she said in Spanish. Does anybody know? Drop it down in the comments if you guys know what J-Lo said in Spanish when she was doing her performance. Really?
Her jewelry in that performance. Woo. I'm looking at the ring. I'm looking at the earrings.
Listen, J-Lo's a good one. J-Lo's a good one. Oh, Kimberly, you just wait, sis. We are going right into the number one fashion of our guy. Shout out to Bernie Sanders, who broke the internet, you guys. I've been waiting to get to this segment all night. Bernie, y'all, our boy Bernie then broke the internet again, y'all. And this literally made the inauguration to me because Bernie is the GOAT, son.
He's about business. Bernie was about business.
Shout out to the internet, not internet. Shout out to the internet. The internet.
Please tell me we got some of these. Please tell me we can go.
Come on, sis. Throw them up. So let's see what we got. First one. This is me after the pandemic is over and I'm asked to socialize again. Bruh, why is Bernie social distancing so hard?
He's the only one there social distancing. Like
the only one. Bernie looked like he got things to do. What's the next one? Oh, standard issue mask, check. Sensible winter coat, check. Mitten or gloves, check. Hero, check. Absolutely, Bernie, you're a hero, bro.
With the disposable mask too. You know what I'm saying? Bernie, man, Bernie's not wasting no cheese.
Hey, you know what? Bernie Sanders, he's just a super sensible guy.
Yes.
I like that about him. He's a good guy.
He is who he is.
I want. Do we have the one where Bernie? They started putting Bernie everywhere. Bernie's outside trying to get the PS5.
He was in that.
Bernie out camping for that PS5. Look at him. I hate that. I hate the internet.
They went hard with the Bernies.
The internet. They didn't put my man everywhere. Put him on the subway train. Put him everywhere.
And the subway train was hilarious.
So we can keep putting them up. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the mittens because that was like the number one thing people were talking about. The mittens were actually, hold on, it's Bernie's mittens are made by a young lady named Jen Ellis. She's a teacher from Vermont. Shout out to Vermont because that was another thing. Like, how do you look like you're from Vermont without opening your mouth? That Bernie. And she gave them to him 2 years ago. And she says that she was surprised when he started wearing them on the campaign trail. And that they are made from repurposed wool sweaters and lined with fleece made from recycled plastic bottles. So That's
so
actually
Bernie.
pretty dope.
That's so Bernie.
Isn't it?
I also heard that Bernie took the meme of himself and it's on a sweatshirt on his official website, and all the proceeds go to charity, 100%. So if you get that Bernie crew neck, all that money's going to charity, man. Shout out to Bernie.
Shout out to Bernie. Can you put the one up? Please put the one up with him in the envelope, bro. This is the number one for me. Bernie got them stimmies in the envelope.
Ready to go.
Who's coming to the inauguration with an envelope? He looks like he got a money order in his hand. Like Bernie looked like, let me pull up the thing.
He was not there to kick it. Bernie was there to work. This was a work day for Bernie. He didn't call out today. Bernie was at work.
Bernie said, I don't have time. Bernie said, let me pull up to Joe's little thing real quick.
Real fast.
Then I'm going to go hit the post office. I'm going to drop this letter. Why use the post office when I know they're going to be here? I'm just going to give it to him right here.
Bernie didn't shake no hands. He didn't get no high fives. He wasn't popping with nobody.
No. He's like, I'm social distancing. It's still COVID. We should. Did you see the one where he says this could have been an email? Bruh, I was weak at these. I was so weak at these, like all freaking night long. But look, y'all. Oh my God, I can barely read this one. This is actually the number one. Hold on. This took the cake. The man, Bernie Sanders, who actually had the election stolen from him by the DNC, had the decency to show up, unlike the Cheeto who can't tweeto. Hashtag Cheeto who can't tweeto.
That's the one. That's the one.
Honestly, Bernie, but that's real life. He really did have the election stolen from him. If you want receipts, because what's her name? Brazil, Donna Brazil.
Yeah,
part of that scandal. Dang, they robbed him, son. They really robbed Bernie back then. So shout out to Bernie Sanders. I voted for him in the
primaries.
Yes, in the primaries. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Did anyone else vote for Bernie in the primaries? If you feel like sharing, I think a lot of people, a lot of millennials really like Bernie. He's considered, people always scream socialism, but Bernie's a good guy, man.
Hey, Leon, that was so Larry David. When I first seen that, that's exactly where my mind went. Look at Bernie sitting there looking like Larry Davis. Yo, hey, for sure. Shout out to anybody that watches Curb.
Man. All right. Well, we're going to move on, you guys. It is, we're late in the hour. We still got a lot of things to cover. I think, let's talk about the last thing of inauguration, and we're going to move totally on. They closed everything off. Cheeto Man was not there, but shout out to Mike Pence, who did show up and kept it classy, kept it cute. And VP Kamala Harris and her husband walked them graciously out in fashion. So I think we got a short clip of that.
Vice President Harris and her husband, Doug Emhoff, had just escorted former Vice President Pence and Karen Pence down the east front steps of the Capitol. And Andy, to continue your thought, this is a moment that the country needed to see its leaders of both political parties come together. The president, former President Trump, did not choose to attend, but Vice President Pence's choice to come was a real statement. How important do you think that was?
I think it's critically important, and I compliment Vice President Pence for being there, and I actually celebrate the role that he played in the last 10 days to help us celebrate our democracy and restore it and put it on the right path. So I'm glad that he was there, and I'm grateful that Kamala Harris, the new vice president, seems to be very gracious to Vice President Pence, and I think that was a good signal to see. I was also thrilled that the former presidents that were there celebrating our democracy.
And the wave at the end killed me. Killed me.
It was gracious. Can I just make a side note that the commentator called her Camilla? Her name is Kamala, and actually her name is Vice President, Madam Vice President. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let him slide because that's not what the topic is about. But her name is Kamala. Let's get it together. We got 4 years. Okay.
It's not that hard.
It's really not. It's really not. But, you know, I'm not going to congratulate Pence for doing the right thing, because the right thing was what he did. You know, he showed up. Yeah. He was present. But Mike Pence, 4 years of your radicalism, like, you harbored. I want to say, like, you harbored a fugitive. Like, you really did, though. Like, you are very much a part of the problem. You know, down to the very last minute, he was still a part of the problem. So I don't think we should celebrate Mike Pence and him, you know, doing the right thing, because, you know, you shouldn't get kudos for doing the right thing. You just got to do the right thing. What do you guys think? What do you guys think in the comments?
You don't get kudos for doing the right thing for the first time in 4 years on your last day. That's not how kudos work. But yeah. I mean, he showed up, so hats off to him. That's more than Trump can say. But yeah, no pat on the back.
Absolutely. No. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it was the right thing to do. It continues to unify the country. I think he took a strong stance, because Donald Trump did not. You know, he dipped out and went to Mar-a-Lago, like we knew. So, you know, it was classy. It was definitely classy, you know, but, you know, move on, you know, because you might be in some of them hearings, bruh, because people are going to trial. So
for sure. And you showed up, so you get no pardon.
Oh my God. We have to clip that after the show. Okay. Let's take a quick break, you guys. Stay with us. We got to talk about these executive orders. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Clapback Culture. I'm your girl, Jules Jessie, and this is my homeboy, Mike Davis with the South Seattle Emerald.
What's up, y'all?
So we have had such a full show, and, you know, the inauguration, we covered it top to bottom. We didn't get into any of the evening ceremonies, but you guys can pull it up. It's all over the internet. So look, we got to talk about these executive orders. We got to dive deep with that, Joan. So Mike, I know you've been wanting to talk about this all night. A couple of our homies in the comments wanted to talk about it too. So go ahead and start dropping your comments below so we can have a dialogue about that, you guys. Because like you said, Joe Biden went straight to work. He said, we got work to do. I mean, what did he tweet out? He tweeted out, he said, there is no time to waste when it comes to tackling the crises we face. That was a bar. Joe Biden.
It was a bar. And Joe, if you want to unify the country, this is how you do it, man. This is how you do it. And he's doing it. So, I mean, respect.
Respect to him. He said, you know, that's why he's headed straight to the Oval Office, because he needs to get right to work delivering bold action and immediate relief to American families. So I know, you know, a little bit about the EO's executive orders. He signed 17 of them on climate change. There was some on like the COVID relief. He stopped the Muslim ban. He stopped the stupid wall for Mexico.
Another big one.
There was a lot. So I think it was a good first start. You know, with executive orders that can get a little like, wait a minute, you know, what is this? So I think the only pushback that I saw was that, you know, executive orders aren't very bipartisan. And I know that the administration wants to continue to be bipartisan, and it's not, right? It's just someone coming in and being like, how about not? How about this? So again, really good push forward to get us started. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about these executive orders? You know, he he rolled back a lot of what Trump had put in place, and it was good.
That's what I think, Julia. When you say that it's not bipartisan, this was not the time for bipartisan. He gave that unity stuff when he gave his speech. When they actually got Trump about the paint and he got into the office, he actually went to work, and it wasn't time for bipartisan. It was time to start rolling back some of the stuff that Trump had did. You can't be bipartisan because the Republicans wanted that wall. The Republicans wanted that Muslim ban. Yep. These are black eyes and embarrassments for our country. Absolutely. We had to get back down with the Paris Accord. We had to get back down with the World Health Organization. Like, these are things that Republicans stood by and watched Trump do. So we can't be bipartisan when it's time to roll back the damage that has already been done. And that's why I give him credit. I feel like, over the years, I've definitely got on him for some of the stuff that he's done to harm black people. But I've also always viewed him as a mediocre politician. He just seems so lukewarm, doesn't want to ruffle the feathers. That's not who he was on day one. He kicked that door in. He sat down with a stack this high. It was just bang, 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 bang. So I appreciate that. There's too much to even run down the list, man. Stopping the pipeline that was harming it.
And that could to get that done in executive order. It was like, oh, duh. Like people have been losing their life over that.
Exactly. I mean, it almost made me mad. Like, you had so many activists that had been fighting for years and years and years, and he sits down with a stroke of a pen and it's done. Like, why did it really have to come to this? Why did people have to lose their lives over this? But he did it. So
yeah, shout out to him. I'm looking forward to more of the rollout. He froze student loans. I actually just consolidated my student loan debt because it's private, so I don't get that frozen. But shout out to everybody who gets to take advantage of that. That's a big deal.
I'm gonna take that. And Joe, don't forget that 50K. Get that 50K will cancel all of mine. So what's up, Joe?
We got a lot to look forward to, I think, with the administration.
Run the rest of that stimmy, Joe.
Yeah,
I ain't forget about that either.
So,
thanks for the 17, but I need that 1,400.
It's coming, but that'll be an act of Congress. So we'll see how that goes if they get those stimmies up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that Mitch McConnell is already trying to use filibusters. Can you just break that down for some of us and tell us exactly what that means and how much power he actually has to stop stuff in the Senate now that he's
you've never seen anyone filibuster?
I mean, I hear the term a lot, but I just think it would be helpful if you could kind of take us on a little deep dive.
Okay. So when someone filibusters, they go onto like the Senate floor and they literally like take over and they talk for hours, like no exaggeration. And they try to turn votes over. So they stand up there, and as long as they can stand up there is as long as they're going to have the floor, and they don't leave until they start turning votes. So it's good and probably annoying to people who have to sit and listen, but people are in and out. But it's we'll have to play some clips and like really dig deep. But yeah, there is a lot of power in filibustering, right? Because someone's really passionate about their issues. So
I know I put you on the spot, but whenever I have any political questions, I'm always going to throw them at you because you always got an answer. But that makes
that's actually, we'll break that down. I think we need to do a little bit more civics education on this show, so people who like tune in can actually know like what some of these like terms mean, right? Because there's just a lot of verbiage that goes with politics that people don't know about. So yeah, definitely something that could change the game. I mean, I don't think Mitch McConnell is gonna have a lot of power these days moving forward. I think a lot of people already know what side of the aisle he's on, and he is going to reap the repercussions of his inaction for these last 4 years. So I don't think he stands a chance at having any type of allies out there. But
I got a follow-up for you. So now that the Democrats, we got the president, we got the Senate, I believe we have the House, right?
Yeah.
So does this mean that all of the stuff that Joe Biden has promised will be able to come true? He's going to come through with all of it.
Well,
because there's no excuse for him not to now. Is that correct?
Yes and no. It means that they have the majority and that the vice president ultimately can come in with a vote. Now, you still want bipartisanship. So it just depends on how everyone votes, right? Because you can still turn a Democrat, right? A Democrat can still vote the way anyone can vote the way they want to. And so ultimately it just means that the Democrats control both the House and the Senate because they have the majority. So the likelihood of him being able to have an easier time getting, bills passed is very high.
Do you see the Democrats playing hardball under Biden the way the Republicans played hardball under Trump?
I think that there is a divide in the Democratic Party, and I think that there are a lot more progressive Democrats like Bernie, like the AOC, there's a lot of people who are going to be pushing hard. But
all right. Can we give a quick shout out real fast to AOC? Because during the inauguration, she was out there marching in a labor strike.
Yeah, she goes hard. She goes super hard. So I think it depends. I think it depends on the issue. And I think that the Democratic Party has a lot of showing up to do. They're going to have to really work together. But I do see a divide. I do absolutely see a divide. So I think it's going to be, people who are kind of progressive, or like you said, your boy who's lukewarm on some issues. So I think it's time that they have to take a strong stance on everything. I keep talking bipartisanship. I see y'all in the comments there's no need for that. But
we don't need that. We don't need no bipartisan anything. We need results, and we need them ASAP.
Speaking of which, I think let's go ahead. Let's skip. We were going to talk about the unity call for presidents, but I think, we're so short on time. I want to make sure we talk about the presidential pardons. So before your boy Donald Trump left, we knew he was going to give some pardons. So shout out to everybody who got pardoned. I know you wanted to talk about this. We got a clip. So y'all hang with us. We're going to be a little bit over time, but we do have a clip of the Trump pardons to talk about who he pardoned. Can we go ahead and roll that?
A slew of pardons, nearly 150 pardons and commutations for a host of powerful and famous people, including a number of the president's own allies and advisors. A raft of political corruption here being washed away by the president of the United States as he leaves office. Elliot Broidy, he's the former deputy national finance chair of the Republican National Committee. He was convicted on one count of conspiracy to serve as an unregistered agent of a foreign principal. Steve Bannon, the president's former ally and advisor, they had an on-again, off-again relationship. It's apparently on again. He'll be spared his pending trial on charges. He raised money to privately build a wall along the southern border with Mexico and then pocketed those funds himself. Kwame Kilpatrick, the former mayor of Detroit, he served approximately 7 years in prison for his role in racketeering and bribery. Randall Duke Cunningham, the former California congressman, was released from prison in 2013. He was sentenced to over 8 years imprisonment for accepting bribes while he held public office. Duke Cunningham, famous for that bribe menu that he had where he listed the prices for various official actions. And Lil Wayne, the rapper, who pled guilty in December to carrying a loaded firearm while traveling on a private jet. All of those folks among the people who were pardoned here. And if you look at this list in total, it really does read like sort of a greatest hits list of recent American public corruption scandals. The president, though, deciding to step in all of these cases and make life easier for those who were convicted or facing charges. You know, the Steve Bannon one is interesting, right? Because Bannon is sort of an antagonist of Mitch McConnell, and Trump and Bannon have had these falling outs over the years. But Trump deciding at the last minute here to include him on this list. You know, Bannon was, the accusation here is that he was raising money for the border wall with Mexico on a private basis and simply pocketed the money to use for his own personal expenses, taking advantage of Trump's own supporters who would have been the donors to that project. Nonetheless, the president deciding to wash that away. No self-pardon attempt, which would have been constitutionally suspect. No family members here. Nobody with the last name Trump on this list. But a lot of the president's advisors and allies over the years. And then, you know, some Democrats. I mean, Kwame Kilpatrick is a Democrat. I mean, it is certainly bipartisan in terms of the political corruption that the president is looking at here and saying, you know what, I think these people deserve a second or third or fourth chance in some cases. But it's nearly 150 people. There's a lot to go through here. And I think as the day goes on, you know, we'll find more in here, some of these lesser known names. But there are people here associated with the Jack Abramoff scandal, the Duke Cunningham scandal, you know, like geological layers of Washington corruption are represented here.
Way to go out with a bang. Of course, I didn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
This man went out the door with 150 pardons. He pardoned Jessie and Kodak Black.
This is a bipartisan effort. Like, this is what did he say? The criminal's greatest hits. I mean,
literally
74 people pardoned, 70 odd some with commuted sentences. Shout out to Kodak. My
For
man
real.
got on the list. Why is Kodak? I mean, listen,
I don't understand.
I don't know. Look, I didn't even know how to approach the conversation about these pardons because I am actually very excited for everyone who did get pardoned.
Yeah.
I am. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I am too. I'm
excited for him. I mean, Steve Bannon, bruh, I didn't think he was gonna make it. I really didn't think he was gonna make it. You know, you took Trump's money for the wall. You took his supporters' money for the wall. Kept it for yourself.
Awful. That was just awful. He raised funds to build the wall and then was keeping the money for himself.
And cashed out.
Come on, man. Come on. And now he walks.
Man, there were so many people on that list that's like the guy said, it was a bunch of like random people. Kwame Kilpatrick, though, the former mayor of Detroit. I can't believe he got his sentence commuted too. I'm
like, how did he make the list?
Listen, I had a couple people, you know, how do you get on the list? That's what I'm saying.
That's the question. I honestly wonder if people paid, and I don't have no proof. I'm just being skeptical, but like, how else would he compile this specific list? He pardoned the dude that bankrolled Death Row Records.
I know. I saw that.
I hadn't even heard that man's name until he got pardoned.
And I think he got locked up in 97. So he's been down for a minute.
And now he's coming home. Like, yo, how did he get connected to Trump?
Man, these Snoop Dogg petition for him. Yeah.
For your folks. There you go.
Listen, you got to know somebody to know somebody who knows somebody. Nepotism is a great thing.
It's real. And Trump has showed time and time again, if you're on his side, he's going to ride with you till the end. And he literally rolled for his folks till the end.
Man.
Mike Pence, man, you shouldn't have went to the inauguration, man. You would have made the list, bruh.
It's all right, bruh. Word on the streets, folks had to pay money. I think so.
I'm not surprised.
I think Kodak, if I got this correctly, I heard that either ASAP Rocky or another rapper said that they were going to donate $1 million to charity if he was pardoned. So I don't know. I mean, or commuted. I guess it's sentence commuted. I don't know. I mean, shout out to everybody who made that list, man. Like I have a couple people who's sitting down that really could have made that list. I don't have $1 million to make that list, but it's a lot of people. The guy from Google who stole the Google documents and then went over to Uber, like scandalous.
So many of them were scandals.
But I guess we're not who we are on our worst days, or what? How does that saying go? You're better than your worst days.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I'm against incarceration. So, for real, man, let these people back, and even the people that did their time already, clear them records, man. Let these people get back to society.
Even Steve Bannon.
Hey, man, look. He knows the right people. I can't get mad at that. If you're going to pardon Kodak. Hey, Bannon makes the list too, man. It's the gang. Don't hate the gang.
But it's not fair. I think I would be okay with it if they would put a couple other people on the list who didn't have to pay. Like if there could be like a raffle, like some type of lottery, like to get your homies out, then I would be with it.
I guess the reason why I feel the way that I feel about Bannon is that he stole money from people that gave money to build the wall. To me, that's a victimless crime. Yeah, man, I don't care about them people that's giving money to build the wall. You know how many better charities, how much people that need that money more than the silly wall needed the money, man. They deserve to have their money stolen. So yeah,
you know what? It's kind of like
karma.
It's actually a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
A very odd and terrible way to think about it, but nevertheless, another way to view it. I mean, listen, I'm really honest with you guys. You guys know my loved one is incarcerated, and there are so many good individuals who are in prison and in jail right now. So anyone who can get a second chance to re-enter society and, come back and do the right thing, I'm all for it. So everyone on that list, all 150 people, I hope that they do return back to the community.
Even though Bannon had a lot of chances, but never mind.
2, 3, 4, and 5 chances.
Not his second chance.
He might need, he's like a cat. He needs 7.
Thanks, man. Man, this was a good show tonight, Julia.
It was a fun show.
We can come here and have some fun, man.
Yeah, that's what happens when you let me figure out what's going to be on the show, man, because I like to talk about things that are fun.
I did try to pull the fun out, too. I'm not even going to lie.
You did.
I'm glad that we didn't, though, because this worked out good. This was a good one, man. We wrote these good vibes that we just had from the inauguration. We got the executive orders, man. We're in a good place. We just want
to keep it light. Sometimes you just got to keep it light. We don't always want to talk about the government.
Yeah, but they better run that 1400. But
I still haven't even got my 6, so I'm waiting for that. Did you guys get your stimulus check yet? What's going on with that? People didn't get their stimmy yet.
They're playing games.
But look, y'all, listen, that is our show tonight. Make sure, you just hang in there with us. We are going to cover all 100 days of Joe Biden and his administration with VP Black Girl Magic Kamala Harris. And, you guys know where to find me. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Treasure of JULES. Make sure you pull up and give me a like, give me a follow. I want to hear from you guys when I'm not on the show.
You can find me on Twitter at Real M Davis. You can also find me in the South Seattle Emerald. If you want to know my real initial gut feelings about the inauguration and that speech, you can check my last article from Wednesday where I kind of let Joe Biden have it. But tonight was a good night. So thank y'all for joining us. Appreciate everybody that was in the comments. Y'all helped make this show go. So we appreciate you.
We'll see you next Thursday, same time, same place. This is Jules with the Clapback Culture. Peace.
Good night.